गोपीजन बल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपीजन बल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे। राम राम हरे हरे। जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे। जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे। जय राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधे। जय राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधे। जय राधा गिरिधरि राधा गिरिधरि राधे। जय राधा गिरिधरि राधा गिरिधरि राधे। जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे। जय श्री राधे। जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे। जय श्री राधे। जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा। जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा। जय गौरा निताय जय गौरा निताय जय गौरा निताय। जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Shri Shri Radha Girdhari ki jai Shri Baladev Subhadra Jagannath Bhagwan ki jai Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai Srila Prabhupada की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। श्रीवन्तं स्वाकथा कृष्ण पुण्य सर्वनं कीर्तनं हृदयन्तस्थो भद्राणि विधुनोति श्रुतस्ततां नष्टप्रयासु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Nar Narayan Rishi, the superhuman being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasa, the author of Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desires for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotees who have developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted by regular attendance in classes of the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotee. All that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, established as an irrevocable fact. Hare Krishna. We'll now read the Prabhupada Amrit. When I have it, please. The wall of heat that greeted them felt good. Where did it go? Well, yes. Where do I read from, Prabhu? Okay.
Just doing it. There was a mistake. I mean, just do it.
So where do I read from Prabhupada?
Yeah.
Okay. Prabhupada and Kirtananda flew to Moscow. There they walked around the terminal, observing what Prabhupada called propaganda pictures. After an stopover, they reboarded and flew another 8 hours, arriving in Delhi around midnight. The wall of it that greeted them felt good to Prabhupada. He had come for this. Inside the airport terminal, overhead fans stirred the muggy air as Prabhupada and Kirtanand stood in slow-moving lines while uniformed clerks checked passports and customs forms without Western-style computer store efficiency. Just beyond the areas for immigration and customs, people waiting for arriving passengers were waving, calling, and coming together with friends and family members. After Prabhupada and Kirtanand claimed their luggage and cleared customs, they stood on the sidewalk outside the terminal. Although Prabhupada had removed his sweater, Kirtanand stood sweltering in his black wool suit. It was all around passengers were meeting loved ones who embraced them, sometimes even garlanded them and helped them into cars or taxis. But no one was there for Prabhupada. It was certainly different from the recent tearful airport scenes where Prabhupada had been with his loved ones. Now, instead of being surrounded by loving disciples, Prabhupada was besieged by taxi drivers and porters wanting to carry his luggage for a fee. In Hindi, Prabhupada asked one of the drivers to take them to Chipiwala in Old Delhi. The driver put their luggage in the trunk and Prabhupada and his disciple climbed into the back seat. The small ambassador taxi drove through streets well known to Srila Prabhupada. Nighttime traffic was light, an occasional taxi or motor rickshaw. Mostly the streets were empty and quiet, and the shops closed, an occasional peasant or cow sleeping outdoors. Just a few years before, Prabhupada had sold Back to Godhead magazines, solicited donations, and printed his Srimad Bhagavatam here. In those days, he had been alone, practically without money or residence. Yet he had been happy, completely dependent on Krishna. Is that all?
Yeah, that's fine. Hare Krishna.
Okay, let me share Bhagavatam. Okay, Hare Krishna, everyone. Today's reading is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, The Creative Impetus, and Chapter 1, The Activities of Maharaj Priyavarta, text 25 and 26. Text 25. Agni dhire dhamaya jiva yajna bhavu mahavira hiranyareto grahata prastha swan medhaditi vitiyotra kavyaiti sarva ivagni namaha. Agni dhire dhamma jiva yajna bhavu mahavira hiranyareto dhrita prishta savana meghati dhiti vitihotra kavyaiti sarva evagni namahana. Namanaha. Okay. Anyone else, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I am just to say.
Yeah.
Agni Thetma Jivha Jagya Bahu Mahavira Hiranyareto Ghrito Prishtha Shavano Medhatiti Biti Hotro Kavaya Iti Shavo Ebagni Namana. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Agni Dredhma Jivha Jogga Bahu Mahavira Hiranyareto Grito Pishta Shavana Medhatiti Biti Hotra Kavayo Iti Sarva Evagni Namana. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat.
Thank you. Agni Dredma Jiva Yagya Bahu Mahavir Hiranyareto Grihat Prishtha Stavana Medhati Thi Viti Hotra Kavya Iti Sarva Evagni Namana. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Mataji. Anybody else? Okay, synonyms. Agnidhara, Agnidhar, Idham Jiva, Yajna Bahu. These are names, so there's no meaning of. Yajna Bahu, Mahavir, Hiranyareta, Reta Pristha, Swan, Medha Diti, Medhatiti, Vitihora, Kavye, and Kavi, Iti. Thus, Sarve, all these, Ev, certainly, Agni, of the demigod controlling fire, Namanaha, names. The 10 sons of Maharaj Priyavarta were named Agnidhir, Idam Jiva, Yagnabhav, Mahavir, Hiranyareta, Gretapristha, Swan, Medhatiti, Vitihotra, and Kavi. These are also names of Agni, the fire god. Go on to next text 26. Etesham Mahavira Sanna Urdhava Ta Atma Vidhiyayam Bhavad Arbabhad Arabhya Kirta Parichaya Paramahansayam Eva From Bhajana Ite Kavir Mahavira Savan iti tre asanna dhruvareta sastah atma vidyayam bhavadharabhye krita parichaya paramahansaya evasram bhajanam. Yes, please, others.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam. I am reciting. Etesham Kavir Mahaviraha Shavano iti traya asan urdhareta shasta atta vidyayam arbhavavat arabhya krita parichaya param hamsyam evasramam avayam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Etesham Kabir Mahabirah Shavano iti traya asan urdhareta shasta Atma Vidyayam Arva Bhavad Arabhya Krita Parichayaha Param Mahamsham Eva Shamam Abhajan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah,
एतेषां कविर् महावीरा सवन् इति त्रयाशन् ऊर्ध्वरेतसष्टा आत्मविद्यायाम् अर्भभावात् अर्भया कृत परिचया परमहंसयम् एव आश्रमम् अभजम्. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else? Okay, synonyms. Yatesham, of these, Kavi, Mahavir, Swan, Iti, thus, Traya, three, Asan, where Urdhvaretas completely celebrate the Atma Vidyayam in transcendental knowledge, Arbha Bhava, from childhood, Arbhaya, beginning, Krita Prachaya, very well versed, Paramahansayam, of the highest spiritual perfection of human life, yea, certainly, Ashramam, the order, Abhayam, executed. Translation, shepherd by his divine grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Three among these 10, namely Kavi, Mahavir, and Swan, lived in complete celibacy. Thus trained in brahmacharya life from the beginning of childhood, they were very conversant with the highest perfection known as the Paramahansa ashram. Purport. The word Urdhvaretas in this ways is very significant. Urdhvareta refers to one who can control sex life and who, instead of wasting semen by discharging it, can use this most important substance accumulated in the body to enrich the brain. One who can completely control sex life is able to work wonderfully with his brain, especially in remembering. Thus, students who simply hear Vedic instructions once from their teacher could remember them verbatim without needing to read books, which therefore did not exist in former times. Another significant word is Arbhabhava, which means from very childhood. Another meaning is from being very affectionate to children. In other words, Paramahansa life is dedicated for the benefit of others. Just as a father sacrifices many things out of affection for his son, great saintly persons sacrifice all kinds of bodily comfort for the benefit of human society. In this connection, there is a verse concerning the 6 Goswamis. Tayatvanturanam asesha mandalapati srenam sadha tuchavahanta bhutva dina ganeshakaho karunya kupina kantastri. Because of their compassion for the poor fallen souls, the 6 Goswamis gave up their exalted positions as ministers and took vows as mendicants, thus minimizing their bodily wants as far as possible. They each accepted only a loincloth and a begging bowl. Thus they remained in Vrindavan to execute the orders of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by compiling and publishing various Vaishnava literatures. Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Loknath Swami Ti Namani. Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Ti Namani. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharane Nirvisese Sunyavadi Pascharve Tarane. Mukam karoti vanchalam pangum lagdagirim yat kirpatam ham bande guru dina taran. Om jnana timirandasya jnananjana salakaya chaksuram nitam yena tasmai Sri Guruve namah. Sri Chaitanya Mano Vishnu Stapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam dadanti swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam cha Sri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Saudutam Parijana Sahita Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Dalita Sri Vishakhan Vitam Sha. He Krishna Karna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Jaitam Surto Pangoram Mamadamate Gati Mata Sarvas Padam Bhoja Radha Madana Mohanu Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavineshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhayascha Kirpa Sindhu Vayoyevacha Patitanam Pavana Vayo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam to everyone. Today's text is chapter 5, Canto 5, chapter 1, text 25 and 26. Agni dhire drama jivaya yajna bhavu mahavira hiranya retu grita prasvasvana medha titi viti hotra kavya iti Sarva Evagni Namana. The 10 sons of Maharaj Priyavarta were named Agnidhira, Hidamya Jiva, Yagna Bhavu, Mahavir, Hiranyareta, Grata Pristha, Swan, Medha Titi, Vitihotra, and Kavi, and these are also names of Agnidev. In text 26. Ete Sham Kavir Mahavira Savan iti Trehe Asanna Dhruva Retas Tata Atma Vidyayam Bhavadarya Krita Parichaya Paramahansaya Hansayam Eva Asrama Bhajan. Three among these 10, namely Kavi, Mahavir, and Swan, lived in complete celibacy, thus trained in brahmacharya life from the beginning of childhood. They were very conversant with the highest perfection known as Paramahansa Ashram. So, you remember some Paramahansas that we know? Unmute and tell me, please.
Srila Prabhupada.
Exactly. We always, after every program, we say, Jai Hom Vishnu Pada Paramahansa Parivara Jakacharya. And so, can't forget Srila Prabhupada. He is the first one in our Oda. And then his Guru, Bhaktisiddhanta, and of course, all the Paramahansa Guru Parampara. And this chapter is titled The Activities of Maharaj Priyavarta. Just quickly recap what's all this chapter about. Maharaj Priyavarta is son of Swayambhu Manu, and Swayambhu Manu is son of Brahma. So it begins with, this chapter begins with the sage Sukadeva Goswami narrating the story of Maharaj Priyavarta, who was a great devotee. And his father, Swayambhu Manu, asked him to take Grihasthashram and populate the planet, but he refused because he wanted to do devotional service. Then Brahma came and requested him to do what the father was asking him to do. So Priyavarta agreed to take up the responsibilities of ruling the kingdom, not just becoming a grihastha, but Swayambhu Manu asked him to be the king and then also populate the planet, and he had refused. But Lord Brahma and Narada Rishi was, in the text, Narada Rishi was the one who was advising him to otherwise. So when Brahma came, Narada Rishi was there, present there as well. So, you know, stories, Narada Rishi always advised his brothers to not to get involved in grihasthashrams and do devotional service. And that's how he was cursed by his father to can't stay in one place for too long. So Priyavarta obeyed Lord Brahma and decided to, he married Brismati, the daughter of Vishwakarma, and had 10 sons and one daughter. The 10 sons' names were listed in text 25. Priyavarta's dedication to his duties and devotion to the Supreme Lord made him an exemplary king. So that's why it is mentioned in Bhagavatam. You know, in Bhagavatam, we hear about past kings and devotees simply to highlight their devotional services, how they, like in case of Priyavarta, he was a king, and this also a Grasta, and he populated the planet. And the examples that the Bhagavatam gives us all sorts of examples of people who were, though in Grastashram, yet they were able to do devotional service. During his reign, Priyavarta performed many extraordinary activities, which we're going to read later, including creating 7 oceans by driving his chariot around the earth 7 times. These oceans separated the 7 islands, the Bhumandal. Priyavarta is responsible for that. Before this Satadvip, 7 islands, was only 1 island, 1 mandal, but Priyavarta separated it, and each named after one of his sons. The 3 of them mentioned here who took sannyas, but the other 7 were the kings, the rulers of each of the 7 islands. This chapter highlights the importance of balancing material duties with spiritual responsibilities and the significance of following the instructions of higher authorities for the greater good. Like Priyavarta had refused his father, but the high authority Brahma, his grandfather, and of course he's the authority, he came and asked him to obey his father's instructions and become the king or the ruler of the planet. The other thing Prabhu highlights is the word Urdhoreta. Urdhoreta is compound term that can be broken down into 2 parts. Urdhva meaning upwards or elevated, and Reta means semen or vital energy. Together, Urdhoreta refers to someone who has transformed their vital energy upwards. In a spiritual context, it often describes a person who has mastered their sexual energy and redirect it towards a spiritual growth and higher consciousness, or the Paramahansas. This term is commonly used to describe advanced spiritual growth and higher consciousness. Remember, higher consciousness means God consciousness or Krishna consciousness. It also used for advanced yogis or yogis who practice celibacy and channel their energy into spiritual practices. So we name some of the Paramahansas that we know, but Prabhupada here mentions the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. So I like to spend rest of the time on talking about the 6 Goswamis. The 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan were a group of prominent devotional teachers and scholars in the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. They lived in the 15th and 16th centuries and were closely associated with the land of Vrindavan, where they dedicated their lives to the service of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The 6 Goswamis, who not only founded the holy city of Vrindavan. Remember, at the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vrindavan was lost. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent the Goswamis to rediscover of this the places of the pastimes of Lord Krishna. And also, they also established the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Through their various writings, they explained the doctrine and philosophy of Sri Chaitanya for the benefit of the whole world. The two brothers, Rup and Sanatan Goswami, were ordered by Lord Chaitanya in the year 1516 to go and live in Vrindavan and search out all the lost holy places connected with Lord Sri Krishna's transcendental pastimes. So this 15th century is not, we are not talking about Satyuga or Treta or Dwapari. We are talking about just 5,000 years back. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also ordered them to compile books on the great science of Bhakti Yoga, the process of devotional service of God. In their sacred mission, Rupa and Sanatan Goswamis were ably assisted by Raghunath Das and Raghunath Bhatta, Gopal Bhatta and Jiva, the other four Goswamis, who together formed the famous transcendental group by Rup, Sanatan, Raghunath Das, Raghunath Bhatta, Gopal Bhatta, and Jiva Goswami. These six forms the Sad Goswamis of Vrindavan. Even though both Rup and Sanatan were very, if you have read about them or heard about them, they were ministers in the government of Bengal. The rulers were Muslims at that time. By the divine inspiration of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they completely renounced left their services and not only that, they renounced their family life and they gave up, took up the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When they first came to Vrindavan, it was just a large forest. Nothing was there. And at night, they would sleep under trees or in caves. And they dressed only in jeans, loin clothes, and ate mainly forest fruits or some dry chapatis or rotis obtained by Madhukari. The six Goswamis hardly slept more than 2 hours. They used to be awake for 22 hours, either chanting Harinam or writing books. Some of their original works written by have been preserved and can be seen at the Vrindavan Research Institute. I read about it, but I haven't, I never knew about it. So I visited Radha Damodar temple. I overlooked that bit. They say that there is a book at the Radha Damodar temple. The six Goswamis press, they are famous spread so far that the Emperor Akbar decided to pay them a visit in Vrindavan in the year 1570. Jiva Goswami led him blindfolded into the sacred Kunja of Nidhivan. So great was the emperor's spiritual experience there that he commemorated the event by granting permissions to construct 4 grand temples dedicated to Lord Krishna in Vrindavan. The temples were Govindji, Gopinath, Madan Mohan, and Jugal Kishore. The emperor also donated funds to set up a library for the preservation of the Goswami's books at Radha Damodar Temple. This library used to be in the room to the left of the altar, and it is still known as Grantagraha book house. I'm not sure whether the books are still in that, where is this research institute? Read about it, so next time I'll go and find out about it. Akbar even provided first-class sandstone, normally reserved for emperors' palaces and forts, for the construction of the temples in appreciation of the six Goswamis. Unfortunately, you know the story. 100 years later, these same temples were destroyed by soldiers of Emperor Aurangzeb in the year 1670. Bit more was the time like a bit more Rup Goswami. Srila Rup Goswami's lineage can be traced back to Karnataka in South India, where his Srivastava Brahman ancestors held influential positions. Due to their noble characters and academic philosophy proficiency, Rup and his brother Sanatan were later forced into government service by the Sultan of Bengal, Alauddin Hussain Saha. As from his reign was from 1493 to 1519, which led to their excommunication from Hindu society. So because they were working for the Muslims, the Hindu society, for the Hindus, they became untouchables. And for the caste Brahmin, Rup became the Sultan's chief secretary, Dabir caste, and while Sanatan became the revenue minister, Sakar Malik. So one of their contributions, they authored several important books, including Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Ujjwal Nilamani. These are the two most famous. They wrote quite a lot of books. If you check up, some of his writings are available on that ISKCON Desire Tree. Can even get it there, and also there. Various books are available in various places. Sanatan Goswami, the elder brother of Rup Goswami, his contribution is the Hari Bhakti Vilas, the encyclopedia of Vaishnava, our devotional service. And also he wrote Brihad Bhagavatamrit. Jiva Goswami's childhood, he was born in Ramkeli in the district of Malad, West Bengal, as the son of Sri Vallabha Malik, also known as Anupama, the younger brother of Rup and Sanatan. So it's Jiva Goswami is the son, is the nephew of Rup and Sanatan. Because Sri Vallabha Malik was another. Was also known as Anupam. So Jiva is son of younger brother of Rup and Sanatan Goswami. In 1542, Jiva established one of the prominent and important temples in Vrindavan, the Radha Damodar Mandir, where Prabhupada later spent his time. It's a famous temple, all know. He installed, Jiva Goswami installed the deities of Radha and Krishna. And those deities were personally carved by Rup Goswami. He also authored books. The most famous one, the Sat Sandarbha, a comprehensive philosophy treatise on Gaudiya Vaishnava. Sat Sandarbha also tells about how to perform the different services. Next one is Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was born in a devotional family in eastern Bengal. His father, Tapan Mishra, was a devotee of devout Vaishnava and would sometimes invite Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to dine at his playhouse. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Sri Tapan Mishra's home, Raghunath Bhatta would often massage his feet. Raghunath Das Goswami saved Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for 16 years in Jagannath Puri. After which he lived for many years at a sacred lake known as Radha Kund. His Bhajan Kutir, Bhajan Kutir still exists there and is visited by many pilgrims to this day. He is also known for his deep devotional and melodious recitation of the Bhagavatam. He was very good at reciting, very melodious way. He plays significant role in preserving and propagating the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Fifth one, Gopal Bhatta Goswami. He appeared in 15,000. According to some authorities, he was born in 1503 as the son of Venkata Bhatta in the town of Srirangam in South India. Their residence was in a village not far from Srirangam called the Palagundi. When Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami was visiting the pilgrim centers of northern India, he found a Salagram Shila on the banks of the Gandaki River. He took the Salagram Shila and carried it with him wherever he went, treating it as a Brajendra Nandana, which is Krishna himself. One day he thought that he would like to worship the Lord in a deity form so that he could expand his devotional service, like dressing properly, because his Saligram is not much dressing, you can't do much dressing. So if it's a deity form, then he had the desire, wish that if I had a duty, I could do better service. On the very next day, he found that the Salagram Shila had transformed itself into Radha Raman to fulfill the wish of his devotee. This deity stands alone without any form of Radha standing by his side. Instead, as a symbol of Radharani, a silver crown is placed on his left side. Need to visit this once again. He also co-authored Hari Bhakti Vilas with Sanatan Goswami and established the Radha Raman temple in Vrindavan. And the sixth one, Raghunath Das Goswami. I haven't found much about him, but he also authored several important books, including Manasiksha and Mukta Charita. The six Goswamis were instrumental in uncovering and preserving the many sacred sites in Vrindavan associated with Radha and Krishna's pastime. They also inspired the construction of several grand temples dedicated to the worship of Radha and Krishna. we should follow the path of devotional service. This Srila Prabhupada highlights, or the six Goswamis pastime highlight that we cannot control our senses unless they are engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. So our most important duty is to engage the senses in the devotional service. Otherwise, we cannot control our senses. Srila Rupa Goswami has further said that Yayasya Harera Dase Karmana Manasagre Gira Nikshale Api Avastetosu Jivan Mukta Saha Uchate. Regardless of one's circumstances, if one is fully engaged in his activities, mind and words to the devotional service of the Lord, he should be understood to be a liberated person. I'll repeat that. Regardless of one's circumstances, if one fully engages his activities, mind and words in the devotional service of the Lord, he should be understood to be a liberated person. So that's all I have to contribute, or I can contribute in this two texts. Thank you very much for listening. Any questions first, please? Any comments then? Hello, anybody home? Where's everyone gone? Or have you lost me?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. We are there. I think people are a bit shy to ask questions.
No, I thought I was just talking to my computer all this time.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for especially narrating the background of the six Goswamis. Yeah, it's amazing. They are rare Paramahansas. So.
Yeah, I've been to the Mother Temple, never. I've overlooked the fact that the Granth house is there. Next time I need to check on that.
Just outside the ISKCON temple, if you go like left, there is a research institute.
Oh, and just there.
Yeah, there's another research institute around maybe a couple of 100 meters from our temple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I've seen some videos of the old, very old scripts, grunts there. So maybe next time you can go.
Yeah, I'll make a point of seeing that. I've gone to Vrindavan, the monkeys, so yes, you always look out for the monkeys. You don't have the peace there.
Doesn't seem to have any comment or reflection, too. So should we end here?
Anybody else?
Prabhuji, what I liked about your class was the recap. So nicely you recapped to bring us the whole katha. So thank you for doing that. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandot Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you so much for bringing up the family tree of Priyabrata, how that out of 10 sons, 3 of them became Paramahansa, and how they relate, and how you made them related to our Sri Goswamis. And what
No, sorry, I didn't do it. Prabhupada has mentioned it, so I just picked on that. Sorry, give me the
That's
credit for
on
that.
behalf of Prabhupada, understanding the importance of the Sikh Goswamis,
I just picked
their
it up,
activities,
Prabhu.
and their activities as directed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and what their contribution to the society is so important. And similarly, we can see the three sons of Priyabrata, Kavi, Mahavir, and Shravana. They are also Paramahansa stage. And rest 7 sons, where they were given the 7 islands, we'll find it in the later stage. So this really gives an insight how this Priyabrata's family is has contributed their life in presenting the society in the right direction and giving the importance of this Grihastha life, how important, how this Paramahansa acted. It is all the settings of the Lord. Lord has given the direction so that everybody can be engaged in the respective order of activities. And so we'll see later stage how things are happening. So we can see the greatness of Maharaja Priyabrata, though he was a very dedicated person in a devotional service, but he turned into a family life. Yet he continued his devotional service in the right perspective. And with that notion, we understand even by following up with Brahma, how Brahma was trying to make him understand. Even if you are in the Grihastha life, still you can maintain the devotional service as directed. So it is very, very important that the Grihastha life is not a simple stage of life. It is very, very controlled life by the direction of the Lord. So all this information we are getting right from 24, 25, 26, and we explained them so nicely. Thank you so much. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Anybody else? Okay, then let me recap it. Text 25. Agni dhire mad jiva yajna bhavo mahavira hiranyareta reto greto drita prista savan medaditi viti hona kavya iti sarva yivagni namana एतेषां कवीर महावीर सवन इति त्रये आसन्न ऊर्ध्वरेतस्तत आत्मविद्यायार्मव भावाधारभ्ये कृत्य परिचयः परमहंसयेव श्रमं भजन. And the translations. The 10 sons of Maharaj Priyavarta were named Agnidhir, Idham Jiva, Yajna Bhav, Mahavir, Hiranyareta, Grihata Pristha, Swan, Meda Titi, Vitihotra, and Kavi. And there were also names of Agnidev, the fire of God. Oh, sorry. Fire God. And three among them, namely Kavi, Mahavira, and Swan, lived in complete celibacy, thus trained in brahmachari life from the beginning of childhood. They were very conversant with the highest perfection known as the Paramahansa Ashram. Kantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Panchakalpatrubhya kripa sindhubhya Allah Prabhupada ki
Rasaprayan Prabhu ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Hare Bol.
All grace to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare